In this video, we're going to see an example of how to use the continuous integration system deployed into our Nubis account to update some application code in production. Now, we're going to start here in the terminal, and this is our normal sort of deployment repository. You can see in here, it's in Git that we have a Nubis folder which has all of the deployment information, and a dpaste folder which is a submodule, a Git submodule for containing our code. So we're just going to head over into the dpaste folder, and if we look here at the status, we can see that we are currently in a detached head state, but we've checked out the 2.8 tag. We want to update this to 2.9. We get a little bit of language support when we upgrade to 2.9. So the first thing, of course, we need to do is get fetch to pull down any new tags. And if we look at the tags, we're going to see, in fact, we've got a new 2.9 tag. There are some newer ones, but the upgrade version of Django, which we're not quite ready to do yet. So we'll just go ahead and check out our 2.9 tag, and if we head back up a level and check our status again at the top, we're going to see that we've modified that here. And so normal Git we're going to go ahead and commit that, and we'll put in a commit message. Alright, and go ahead and push that out. Of course, this is on my clone of the repository, and we need to go ahead and make a pull request to get that over to master, and get our message put in there again. And we now have a pull request that we can go ahead and open up. Now, normally we'll have a process for code review, but since we're doing a demo, I'm just going to go ahead and merge that in. If we head back over now to our CI system, it'll take just a minute, but we will see this automatically pick up the new build and start building here in just a minute. Took just a minute for the CI system to pick up the build job, but we can see that it's running now. And you'll notice there are two jobs here. There's a build job and a deploy job, and it's pretty obvious what they do. The first one runs the build, and just like we saw in the last video, it's going to be running the exact same commands, which is nubis builder builds, using the same pipeline that we use to deploy to stage. And once that's done, it will, if it's successful, automatically run the deploy job, and the deploy job, just like we ran before, is simply a Terraform apply. And as soon as it's done with these jobs, we'll go ahead and take a look at the logs, and then hopefully get this promoted off to production. Alright, we've got that build done. You can see our last duration was 12 minutes. If we go ahead and pop into that build console output, you're going to see pretty much exactly what we saw when we were building in the sandbox. This is just the output from Nubis Builder, kind of doing the exact same thing, building that AMI. We can see that our deployment job is just about finished up here. And as with all jobs here, we can actually pop into the console output, and at this point we can actually see this is all just Terraform output. It's pretty familiar, showing us exactly what it's updating, launch configs and such. And at the end here, we actually get sort of some real-time output of what the logs are doing. Of course, we're just waiting on the auto-scaling group to roll. We won't sit here and watch that. I just wanted to show you that you can watch what's happening real-time if you're interested in that. We can see that the deployment job was successful here, and that it promoted our last build, build number 4. We can head over here to the site again, and we can do a reload. Not too much going on here, but we can see that in fact it works. It's got our new code updated. That deployed our application code to stage. In this account, we have two environments. We've got stage and prod. So of course the goal of all this is to get over to prod, and as we saw, the site is working. So if we go on into the last deployment job here and log in, now the first time you log in, you're going to have to authorize the application. We run this authorization through GitHub, so if you are logged into GitHub, of course you have to have your MFA enabled over there. But if you have commit access on the deployment repository, that will automatically give you access to the jobs here in CI, and you can see now that I am logged in. Looking at this job now, we've got a rebuild link down here. If we just click on that, we can see the parameters that were used to deploy this job to stage. We're just going to change this to prod and go ahead and hit the rebuild button. What this is going to do is only rerun the deployment job. It's important to note that we're not rebuilding a new AMI. The AMI that we built and tested in stage, we're using again to simply replicate this deployment in production. So once this job has completed up, we will have that same new version of dpaste running in production, and we know that all of our tests and validations have passed, so we have a very high degree of confidence knowing that that's going to work properly in production.